Welcome to Intimate Conversations, Season 13, Heart Broken Open, where intimacy is an inside job.
I grew, but it was still the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
This was damsel in distress. This was badass bitch boss. I hadn't transformed. I hadn't actually ascended. Mm-hmm. I had improved.
Yes.
I'd improved. But now I'm going to call those relationships soulmate relationships because they were karmic contracts. I'm half empty. You're half empty. You'll complete me. Mm-hmm. Let me control you because you're the source of something. Mm-hmm. As opposed to now becoming not perfect, nowhere near perfect, but whole. I'm the source. And I'm still a work in progress, but I'm the source of my safety, my worth. I'm the source of everything. Mm-hmm. In as and through me. God is as and through me. And then bring that being into a relationship. And then it's not transactional. It becomes this like figure eight.
Yes.
Where you awaken something in me and I awaken something in you and it's back and forth and we're more for the all. Like that's the relationship I choose with my clients, with my friends, with lover, with my clients. Yes. And I think that's what actually shifts us and shifts the planet into 5D.
I agree. I mean, I think that that is actually choosing love, right? Like choosing love, not from any place of trying to get something at the end of it, right? Like that is actually what love looks like.
Yeah, choosing love, but it's like to be love.
Right.
Like to go into a relationship, not what can I get,
No.
but how can I be love? How can I be the expression of love? And how can we be better together?
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Because I think about my own experiences with rupture and then repair in my own intimate partnership, right? And how much closer we are when we're able to get on the other side of the repair.
Yes.
Than when we were before the rupture even occurred.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
And it's terrifying to go into that and actually sit in that very uncomfortable place.
Yes.
But with proof several times that on the
over.
Stronger, deeper.
Well, more intimate.
Way more intimate.
Like more intimate, more real with each other.
Oh, yeah.
Like some of the masks have fallen off. Some of the masks we didn't even know were there have fallen off. And so I want to talk about, because I thought it was just so impactful. You know, every year you have a retreat for your clients, an intimacy retreat. It's couples and singles. Anybody is welcome that is a client, right? And we can bring our significant others.
Right. So it's not open to the public, but clients and their spouses or boyfriends, girlfriends. Yeah.
Yep. And prior to the co-ed part of the retreat, we had a women's retreat, which was just divine. And there was a break. There was a woman that was leading the women.
Well, that's what caused the rupture. There wasn't clarity.
And so that let's just talk a little bit about that. So there was this, I think, a breakdown in communication, really, or in unclear communication, or
just uncharted territory. Didn't know, I'd never done that before. So it's always been, I've been leading.
Yep.
I'll let somebody be my event coordinator and help me, but I'd never actually allowed co-leadership. I didn't know how to do this. And I knew that she had gifts that I didn't have that would really open up the container as we then invited the men for the second 5 days. And so we talked about what was going to happen. But I literally, in my mind's eye, I thought the good little Canadian, give the reins over to her to lead the first 2 days, and I'll be in the back, I'll be a participant. And I really thought that was the right thing to do. And I really thought it was honoring. I thought all the things, but I'm using the word thought on purpose. I didn't ask my heart. I didn't ask my soul. I didn't ask the energy. I didn't... worst case scenario, well, what if this happens? How will we have each other's back? Like, it wasn't a have each other's back thing. It was, I gave her the reins. And she had never co-led before either. So we were both just doing our best, walking into it. And one of my values at a retreat, you don't have to come. But if you come, you participate. And you can participate at a 0.01 or at a 99.9, 100%, whatever, but you're going to participate. And if you don't want to participate, you don't have to be here. Correct. But it creates such an unsafe container when some people participate and some people don't. Yeah. So what went down on the first evening when I had given the reins over was not equal participation. And I suggested again, and yet I wasn't I wasn't being the masculine, having her back as the feminine expression. I had given her both masculine and feminine. I'd given her everything. Yeah. And now in hindsight, she didn't know how to coach my clients because they were my clients. This is my retreat. Yeah. She's the guest facilitator. Yeah. But I didn't call it that. I called it the co-leader and let her lead that part. And so it, to me, created a completely unsafe environment. And after 2 invitations, I got so triggered. And this was clearly not about this moment. This was about all the times I'd given away my power, all the times where I didn't have this incredible partnership, twice divorced. I'm still learning a lot about what is it really to share power, to have each other's back, to be in a really exquisite partnership. So that was definitely in my face. My first divorce was in my face. My second divorce was in my face. All this was in my face. You even said to me on the way out, or you poked your head into my room, do you want to talk? No. Like
I did. I checked on you.
I yelled at you. And then she came into the room to try to repair. Right. Bless her heart, brave woman. But that, to my nervous system, after being violated so many times, was, and now I'm not only pissed, now I'm gone. Yeah. I'm dissociated. And I just like, get out of my room, get out of my room. I just couldn't do it. I didn't even come to the first part of the session the next day because I would not be a contribution. I knew it. But what I did know is that we need to repair. And I started asking the energy questions. I started taking ownership of what's coming up in me to the best that I could. And what I realized is we need to repair this ASAP because there's a weird energy going on now because Allana's not even showing up.
It's very strange.
Very strange, right? Okay. And then how can I do this to benefit all? Yes. Because it would be so easy just to, over the lunch break, have a chit chat with her and then go back and co-lead this event. No, that's the fakey fake thing that I refuse to do. So I invited, we call it a dyad. It's a form of communication where somebody, when they speak their truth, the other only gets to say thank you. And so it's received with safety and honesty and respect, no interruptions, no my opinion, no interjections, just thank you. And you don't even have to agree when you say thank you, but it means I understand the experience of you. And so I invited everyone to sit around us in a circle, holding space. And the two of us sat almost in yab yum. We just sat super, super close together and started to express what had gone down. So uncomfortable. Her intentions were so pure. And I realized that I had given away my power to someone who, it wasn't her job to be everyone's coach. It was her job to teach us her skill set. And her experiences, which she did great. So I said, I need to stay with you and have your back. Got it. The experience, and I'd love to hear yours of having watched us, the experience was, that's healthy partnership. I'd never experienced that before. These are my clients. This is, I ought never to put down the reins.
Yes.
Right? And so I learned how I do that, and I'm not going to do that anymore. And I think most importantly, by the end, my love for her, my trust in her, our connection, our sisterhood. I mean, we did another experience later in the retreat, which was super, super vulnerable between the two of us for everyone in our sexual somatic healing of our bodies as women. And that wouldn't have occurred.
Yes.
Had the deepening of our friendship, our trust, our sisterhood, that we're better because of rupture. And I had the intention that witnessing that would infuse everyone watching. It'd be very uncomfortable. But rupture's uncomfortable. And if you can witness it and live and watch us repair and flourish, maybe you can take that capacity home into your own relationships. And instead of running or avoiding or living with somebody for 20 years and feeling deeply unseen and alone, you've got a chance to work through those tough conversations all the way through to resolution and deeper intimacy.
Yes. Yeah. All that. I mean, I will say it's funny. So it was your retreat. And so I love your willingness to take responsibility for a choice that you made the best choice you could in the moment, but turned out it was actually not the best choice for yourself, for her, or the collective. And you took responsibility for that, right? And your part in the rupture, because when there's a rupture, it's not one person's fault.
Oh, no,
right?
no. It's always
you get
both.
to take responsibility. Yeah. But one of the things that witnessing this that I just thought was so incredible, and we talked about it afterwards, it felt like the repair conversation, the rupture and repair was actually healing not just your relationship, but it felt like energetically the relationship of women, sisters together, at such a deep level.
Yes.
And what was so incredible about the experience was that it was so raw, it was so real. Both of you were fully there.
Yes.
I loved that, when she explained her position, you didn't immediately go, okay, I got it. You said, I still am feeling these things, right?
99% is not repair.
Exactly. And so there was just so many lessons. It was difficult. I know from many, I do this stuff in my intimate relationship, so I'm very versed with the emotions that can be here. But for many, I know it was like a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
And yet it was just to me, it felt like so real and raw and necessary for us to actually be in absolute authenticity with what is here.
Yes.
So that we can come to a place of okay, we can repair now and we're better for it.
Yes.
Because it was through the process that you then realized, I can't just hand over the reins. That was unfair to you.
Yes.
And
there's no way we know things. We learn you can't just read a book about how to ride a bicycle. No. You got to get on the bicycle and fall down a lot.
Yes.
So it's only through showing up in relationship, in work, in business, in love, in parenting. We're going to mess up all the time, but we only learn through the messing up. So it gives you a whole new relationship with failure or success, and realizing that it's messy. And that's the way to deeper fulfillment, deeper expression, deeper connection. So I love that I did my best. And in hindsight, it wasn't the best choice, but it was the best choice given what I'd known. I wouldn't have known until I had this rupture that wasn't the ideal way to do it. And something else you said that I really appreciate, I forgot about this. One of the attendees has worked on the level of the UN and women's issues, really intense women's issues for decades. And she came up to me after, she goes, I've never seen full repair. I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. But we've, at a very high level, we'll say the niceties. We'll get to 90%, 95%, even 99%, but there's still something that's always going to create some separation, always a little bit of, I wonder when she's going to do that thing again, a little passive aggressive. It's not clean. Mm-hmm. She goes, I've never seen a repair 100% clean in my 20 years of doing my work. That was so flattering and so honoring, and also so sad. That
we're not taught.
This skill is not out there.
Right.
Yeah, we're not taught how to listen. Because if I was just trying to look good and I was more concerned with everybody else and I just wanted to get on with the day, and I wasn't deeply committed that we all learn full rupture into repair, I could have easily stopped at 95%, 99%.
Well, I think also just the person that you are, I would say you couldn't actually have stopped at 95.
Yeah, probably 20 years ago I would have stopped,
right?
but not now.
Who you are now, I think that,
you're right.
that wasn't really something that, in order for this communication to be one that was rooted in authenticity, right? In order for there to even be a chance to move forward in an intimacy retreat, right? This is not just a random, this was an intimacy
not a gardening retreat. It's
I think it was required, and
thank you.
And God bless you for doing it and for going there.
Yeah.
And I will say, the outcome was not certain.
Yes, right? Never is.
And the outcome never is. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's also when I work with couples or I work with singles who are in relationships, when you go into these rupture conversations, it takes two.
Yes. And she met you.
And she's extraordinary.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So because we're both committed and we both do the work and we got all the way to 100% repair, that's what a relationship looks like when it gets stronger. Yeah. And I cannot tell you over 20 years how many relationships I've coached, whether it's the couple or just one, and I'm sort of coaching on the side. The other partner won't go there. Mm-hmm. They won't do what it takes to stay present in their body, heart open, let go of the past, step into the unknown, see the other through the eyes of the divine. All these tools I teach to stay present and have these conversations all the way to repair. Mm-hmm. And then the partner that is willing has to make a choice. Yeah. And this is life. Some relationships are meant for the entire life. Some are meant for a season. And if both people aren't willing to continue to show up, there isn't a future, if you ask me.
Yeah. If you are somebody that wants to live a particular life, right? A lot of people just phone it in, or for a variety of reasons will stay in something.
True.
But I think if you are, especially if you're a partner that wants to do this work,
Yes.
right, or wants to be able to go that deep,
Yes.
you need to be met
Yes.
by someone that can do that as well,
Yeah.
or at least makes the effort to learn how to develop the capacity
Yes.
to be able to do that. And
Yeah.
so maybe we can talk a little bit about developing capacity,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of this is like, again, we're not taught. We grow up with our parents are doing the best they can, no
Yeah.
matter what that looks like.
Yeah.
It could be real ugly, but they're doing the best they can in just where they are.
Yeah.
And that results in us being who we are, and then we get to do our best.
Yeah.
And part of doing our best for some of us is desiring to develop the capacity to be with things, to be with ourselves, in truth. And so let's just talk a little bit about that, about developing capacity. What does that look like? I know I'd love to talk a little bit about the PSI work that you do, because that work I've seen change people's lives.
Definitely.
But even setting aside the PSI work, just developing capacity, let's start with that, and then we can talk about some of the deeper ways that we can develop capacity.
Yeah. So to me, the presupposition of gaining greater capacity is a willingness.
Oh,
You've got to be willing. You've got to choose to go, okay, I'm going to jump off the deep end. I'm going to jump into the world of the unknown, the uncertain, letting go of control. And I'm going to go in the direction of, okay, there's more. I know what I know, but there's also a lot more that I don't. So that willingness has to be there. Or as soon as things get tough, you abort, you make excuses, you blame, and then we're not going to get anywhere. So willingness is huge. Willingness is listening to the ache of your soul. I know there's more. I know there's more. I know I am more. I don't know how. And I'm willing to, link arms with someone who isn't perfect, but is a few steps ahead, and learn to develop my capacity. So the next thing with capacity is to be able to stay in your body and feel. Hard, uncomfortable. We're taught that there's so many of these things that we feel that are bad and wrong. Boys don't cry. Girls need to be heard, not, seen, not heard. Like it's ingrained that we will get abused if we feel.
yes.
So there's so many layers just before I even get people to learn to feel. There's another layer that comes up. I'm going to die, get rejected. This is not going to go well. Which is another feeling, right? So it's helping people, like sort of titrating in little pieces at a time.
Yes.
When you think of the different Allana Pratt method processes, one of them, very first ones, is little you, connecting with yourself. Can I learn to have my own back? Can I learn not to judge myself when I'm terrified, rageful, feel like a loser, right? So finding the little yous inside who we've rejected, we've abandoned, we've hit over the head with a 2x4 and said, shut up and stay in the closet. This is not going well.
Yes.
So it's a homecoming to self through uncomfortable feelings.
Yeah.
And there's something about sort of visualizing two self, like a higher self and a little you, and going in and really going, you know what? I'm so sorry that whenever you would get scared or sad or mad, I judged you and I left you. And I went out 3 steps ahead to try to look good, do it right, and get the guy, get the girl, get the deal, whatever it was. Sorry. Hi. And then let this little you go, yeah, it's really been awful. All which is happening is feelings inside of you all in one moment, right? So that first step is kind of huge.
Yes, it's everything.
Yeah. Another huge thing that in terms of supporting capacity, is we have a point of view in society, I believe, where anger's wrong. And indeed, when you go around killing people, I would not recommend that, or killing yourself off with horrendous criticism. Okay. So I'm going to call that the misuse of anger, because we haven't been taught that anger is just an energy that's coming up. It's like fierce love. It's like mama bear. It's like, hey, this is out of integrity. This does not work with my values. This is a betrayal. It's coming up to say this needs to change now. But because we haven't been taught that this is helpful, supportive, normal.
No, a lot of times we're afraid of our anger.
Well, when you suppress a tsunami for decades and it comes up, it's a little intense. Yeah. So we are afraid. And when you do suppress something for a lot of times, it does blow. And then you feel guilty and ashamed and you blame. So there's a lot to unpack here with anger, but that's another big piece of developing capacity to allow it to come up. And I've developed various processes, theater of redemption, where we express it in a healthy way to move it through the body, but not just and that's it. To then, once the autonomic nervous system has come back into regulation again, to have the point of view, the soul's point of view of, oh, that betrayal is for me. thank you for giving me. See, the word forgiveness is right in there. Thank you for giving me that cheating on me, the betrayal, the bankruptcy, the cancer, whatever it was, because I've learned, I've discovered, I've cultivated, I've forgiven, I've awoken, like whatever it is, to see the worst through the divine's eyes, that it was there to help you be more. And you become the director, the producer, and the actor of your own play of life, and you're no longer the victim of others. Outsourcing, get me happy, get me safe. That can start to be developed inside. So I'd say those are the 2 of my 10 Allana Pratt method processes that are foundational. Yeah. We've got to stay connected to ourselves, which is another way of staying in the body when the discomfort occurs in the home front, so that you don't immediately abort mission, blame, go into control. And this develops the capacity to go, I am having this thing. When you do that, it reminds me of my dad. And I just want to run right now or kill you, one of the 2. But I'm going to stay here because I love you and I'm committed to getting through this. Could you just breathe with me? That's hard. Yeah. When it's so much easier to go, you're such an asshole. I'm out of here. You're just like everyone. And then the pattern continues. And I believe worsens over time because we're not addressing the gift. We were saying this as we were driving here. Rupture is holy ground. Rupture is holy ground. I'm not into the Bible, but something about the burning bush. It didn't burn and then die away. It's like, no, this is transformation, transmutation. This is alchemy. Like this
it's actually the sort of starting point of if we get through repair, it's actually the starting point of
evolution, transmutation, transformation. Yeah. So for them to see these uncomfortable feelings inside as holy, as sacred, as divine, like it's not a wrongness that you have emotions, that you're friggin' human. It's a good sign. Yeah. I'm really scared when they don't have feelings and they have no empathy and they're total narcissists and they don't care that they just hurt you. That's to me scary. Yeah. And we can have a new relationship with ourself and our emotions. And those capacities allow you to be present with yourself, no matter what. And then that turns over time into compassion for self. And then one day it turns into self-love. And you're like, holy shit, I'm a total hot mess and I love myself. What just happened? I'm enough. Yeah. I belong. Yeah. And that turns into self-esteem, better choices, boundaries. Yeah, these are all like speaking up.
Yeah. Yeah. Building blocks.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Like your work is about sort of putting in, like helping us develop the building blocks to build, because you can't get up here. You can't be like self-esteem, self-loved unless you've done all this other stuff.
Correct. And there's a hell of a lot of bypassing out there. Everything's just love and light and I'm just so grateful for, no, that's the fakey fake. Yeah. Yeah. And I get that because if you're not taught how to develop this capacity, if you're not taught how to feel, if you're not taught that your emotions aren't wrong, if you're not taught how to integrate an emotion and to learn to trust body, that body actually knows what it's doing. We're so over-reliant and on the head, figuring it all out. But that gets in the way of the body doing what it knows how to do. The body is designed to come back to zero. It's the head that gets in the way. And maybe this is a good transition into why PSIs are
I was thinking exactly the same thing. Because you've spoken a few times about, numbers. And so let's talk a little bit about that, because PSI discussion is the perfect place to talk about.
Yeah. And I'll just preempt it of how it even came to be, that I learned about what this psychedelic somatic integration works about, because we had done ayahuasca journeys, 25 years ago, and they were amazing, but they didn't heal the patterns of abuse. Right. And my patterns of abuse were both in professional and romantic, everywhere.
And personal, right?
Personal, sure. They were everywhere, because how you do anything is how you do everything. Right. So my soul, I'm going to say, was drawn to a relationship that had a lot of very positive qualities to it that made me feel honored and seen. And it was also physically abusive. Yes. And I was terrified. And it was through that relationship that I learned of this modality, psychedelic somatic integration. So when that relationship ended, I went straight to those facilitators and said, I've done everything under the sun. I can help somebody find the one. I can save a marriage. I can do all these things, but I'm a mess. My last relationship was criminal assault. Something is happening that is not of the smart mind that is making me do this. I need help. And that's when I realized the difference between tier 1 in the body, tier 2 being like the identity we create to survive the wounds in the body, tier 3, leave the body, unity consciousness, right? So I started doing these psychedelic somatic integration journeys, I guess we'll call them. And on the very first one, I believe because of my dance background, I know how to let the energy move my body in interpretive dance from having studied for so many years. So I know I trust the body maybe more than the average bear. So as we went in, what happens, level 4 is when you're dissociated, you've left your body. You've got that fake face of, oh no, everything's fine when you're not even home. In the physical body, you'll be cold because your soul's not in here. You've left. And it's clever because whatever happened that caused that wound, you didn't have the resources, the support at the time of that trauma to deal with it. And it was actually smart of your body to leave, smart of your being to leave. Right. But it creates hypervigilance. And my hypervigilance is, where's the abuser to survive? Where's the abuser to survive? Every networking event, every dating event, everything was, I'm going to scan the room to find the sociopath. I'm going to find the narcissist. I'm going to find the scariest motherfucker. And I'm going to beeline it. Can we get married? Like, so because I've got to survive the abuser. If I can keep my eye on the abuser, I won't be blindsided by the abuser. Yeah. None of this.
And these are unconscious patterns.
None of this was conscious.
Yeah, right.
None of this was conscious at all. So as on my very, very first, and I've done probably 35 PSI journeys up till this point, and I've probably facilitated close to 75. So I wanted to be sure I knew what I was doing and it worked before I would ever bring anything to my clientele. So on the very first journey ever, I come back. So I'm cold, I'm gone. I come back into level 3 trauma, hopelessness. What's the point? You're starting to feel what it's like to be perpetually abused with no escape. As a child, as an adolescent, it is suicidal. It is hopeless. It is dark. Who wants to feel that? Let's just go work harder on every single weekend. Where's my glass of wine? How about some social media? Like, I didn't know how to deal with that level of darkness and hopelessness. Certainly didn't want to tell anybody about it. So here I am in this professional facilitated session, one-on-one. And the facilitator was, I'm right here with you. Let's feel that. Oh, I'm not alone. So my body's like, okay, we're safe. We're not alone. So it integrated these really dark, hopeless feelings. Then we get to level 2 trauma, very acute, very short. It's what actually happened in the trauma, which made you feel panicked, threatened, terrified, rageful. It's way too much anger for normal life. And it's way too much like panic attack. And so I would never feel that. I would push that away and go over here and overwork. Again, and overserve my clients and drink one too many glasses of wine at night and stay on social media, right? So here I am. Now I'm feeling something crazy. And my body is literally on its own recapitulating, pushing away the abuser, covering up my vagina. Like, and I'm not doing it. My body's doing it. And I'm reenacting, replaying the abuse. And I'm witnessing my body do this. The facilitator's witnessing me and saying, I'm right here with you. I'm right here with you. I got you. And I'm feeling, and my body's shaking in terror. It's discharging all of this held trauma in the body. It's getting hot as all this is leaving the body. I'm throwing off the blanket. Before I was terrified and I was shaking. And when it was level 4, I was cold, had to have all the blankets on. Now I'm hot. All this is happening. We get to level 1 after the intensity is over. Oh my God, I'm alive. Because my body literally thought she was going to die. Because as a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, that's real. So I think I'm going to die is real according to the body, which is why the psychedelic medicine is supportive because it leaves the secondary consciousness of the mind that's trying to figure it out and make sense. And it's just enough because I'm talking the whole time.
Right. It's low dose.
It's very low dose and it gets into the body, the primary consciousness, pre-verbal, pre-thought, all about the emotions and the movement. So we get to level 1. Okay, I'm fine. I'm not going to die. Relief. And she's like, let's just stay there. Because then the autonomic nervous system goes to 0. And it still brings tears to me. I had never felt home in my body, ever, until that session.
Wow.
And I was like, I felt it when we did like ayahuasca journeys all the way out to tier 3, but I wasn't in my body then. I was out there in the ethers.
You felt the oneness with the everything.
In my body.
Right.
For the first time ever. Right. Safety in my body for the first time ever. And during this whole experience, it was revealed to me of being molested. So smells, images, words, It's your fault. You made me do this. You like it. Ooh. Just bullshit, right? That went into my subconscious that I'm the cause of pain in my life. I'm fundamentally wrong, like really fucked up beliefs. So all of this was revealed in this first journey when I got back to zero. So zero is wonderful and it's home and it's wholeness and it's oneness in the body, but it's also wisdom. And I forgave myself.
Wow.
That's why you attracted that horrendous business deal, that guy that took all your money, that guy that hit you, that 13-year custody battle. That's why. Because a little girl whose autonomic nervous system was spinning 1,000,000 miles an hour looking for the abuser to survive, she, as an adult, was making all those decisions. And I forgave myself.
That's incredible.
And I'm like, I'm hooked. This works. This works. And all the work I'd done for 20 years prepared me for the bravery and humility to go through that and to be listening to Spirit's wisdom. And now, that was a great journey, but now you got to get out in life. Got to integrate. You've got to make new choices. You've got to have conversations. You've got to put down healthy boundaries. You've got to speak up. You've got to let go. You've got to now do the work. So it was about 1.5 years of every 3 months or so, I would do another journey. I started with a female practitioner. Then I moved, when I had more confidence and safety, moved to a male practitioner, and it's all one-on-one. And I started to heal my mother wounds, my father wounds, the abuse wounds. It started to go into multiple lifetimes. All this incredible healing and awareness started to occur. And then my clients were like, we're seeing a difference in you. We're seeing your face. The muscles are not the tenseness in here.
For sure.
I was curious. What did you notice?
I was just going to say, I mean, for me, this is part and parcel of the experience I have of you as a diamond, right? That you will continue to do the things that you need to do. You'll continue to do the work. You do a ton, I mean, importantly, you do a ton of, we'll call it work on tending to self.
Yes.
And so is it any surprise really that you have dived full into the PSI work when you realize, like after all the many years of work you'd been doing, that this was almost like that missing piece to allow you to get underneath? Because a lot of these things, these are unconscious. They're sitting in the body. We don't know they're there.
Exactly.
So it's not like we can go, okay, I'm going to root that out right there.
No. Which is just so frustrating when you've been doing work for a long time.
Correct.
A lot of my clients are coaches themselves. Right. And so it's really hard for them to be humble enough to go, wow, there's still stuff I don't know that's in there.
Right. And that my cognitive mind isn't going to be able to identify it.
And when we find what we don't even know we're going to find, you're not going to judge me.
And I think that's the other piece that's so beautiful. Is that what you bring is this complete space of non-judgment. So anything goes.
Yes.
And all is welcome.
Yes.
Right.
Because all is going to take us home.
Yes. And it is that I feel like it's, to me, the PSI work that you've done has just felt like an additional, talking about the building blocks, right?
Yes.
And you are always in the active process of not just being who you are, but also continuing to put in the building blocks that allow you to be more and more of the expression of the truth of who you are.
Yeah.
Right. So to me, this was just, you've always been a place of safety for me, but I think that what I see that's different about you now, and now that I've never thought about it before, so I'm just gonna.
Yeah. I
think what's different about you now that you've done this PSI work, is that you are better with your own boundaries. That would probably be one of the biggest shifts I've seen in you.
Thank you.
Is that you have learned how to hold appropriate boundaries in all the different places of your life.
And I would shift the one word. I didn't learn. I actually now have the capacity.
Okay. So there we go.
Yeah, because I'm very smart. And I never had the healthy boundaries.
But that's what I see. That's as a tangible difference, as you asked me, I think that's what it is you're putting in place boundaries that you were.
Yeah, well, if you think about an iceberg, right? The very tip of the iceberg is our conscious mind, what we're aware of and what we can put a boundary down in this example. Right. But there's this huge motherfucker of an iceberg of subconscious programming that's going to sabotage everything I know better. Right? Yeah. So I know to put a boundary down, but my body is so terrified and so hypervigilant and all of this, it will always sabotage until it gets integrated. Yeah. And then once it's integrated, there's congruency, there's alignment. So I think it, I feel it, I know it. It's beyond deserving or worth. It's I am.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
End of the sentence. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's what I'd say if I had to identify a thing. I think it's that. Yeah, I think that would be the thing that stands out the most to me. And perhaps even I would add to that, I believe your capacity to hold others.
Well, of course, it's taken skyrocket as well. The inside creates the outside. It has to.
Right, because the PSI work, as you've spoken, it's all about sensation in the body.
Yes.
Right? Like we're not talking about this is not a therapy session.
No, it is sensation, emotion,
Right.
like, yeah, the whole time, the whole way home.
And it is that, I'm sure, I've heard this before. I'm sure listeners have heard this, like the body doesn't lie or there's something.
Body keeps the score.
Body, yeah. So, but what does that actually mean? Well, what that really means, I think, is that there's all these things that sit inside the body that are festering or creating illness, disease, discomfort, and pain, are also impacting these experiences that are lodged in the body, are also impacting the way we behave in the world.
Oh, yes.
The triggers that we have.
Oh, yes.
And until
surging emotions through it and hormones through us. Yeah.
All of those things, right? And then until we're able to actually excavate and
integrate
those traumas.
Yeah. Into our superpowers, we're fucked.
Right. I was going to say they're impacting how we behave, but yes, we're fucked. In terms of
the soul's truest, deepest, widest expression is thwarted.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my body, through all of this, as you're speaking, whether it's a PSI weekend or whether it's a one-on-one session or whether it's a group session, my body is so attuned to helping other bodies feel. This is another superpower that came that I didn't plan. Yeah. So I'm in a coaching call, group, private, or a PSI, and all of a sudden I'm like, my shoulders start to go up, my face starts to scrunch, and I'm like, what are you resisting? What are you shouldering? And they're like, how did you know that? I'm like, my body's doing this.
How did you know that?
Right? Or we'll be in a session and my legs are getting agitated and my hips are moving. And I'm like, what do you want to run away from? They're like, how did you know? I'm like, my body's teaching you to trust what your body's trying to tell you. But we can't hear our body in our head. And we try to push away, numb out everything that our body's trying to tell us. Right? Even our journey with your beautiful heart, right? Over time.
Still figuring that one out.
Still figuring this one out, right? But listening to the wisdom of your heart.
Yes.
So I'll be in a session and I'll feel nauseous. What is it you're having trouble stomaching or digesting about this situation?
Yes.
Let's trust the body's wanting to tell us something. So to bring body, mind, spirit, we often say, but it's sort of like mind's at the top. Body, just, feed it well, exercise it, or shove it away. No, the body's so wise. Yes. And the spirit comes into the body. Yeah. And then the mind turns from figuring it out mind into divine mind. The pineal turns on. We're connected to all.
It's incredible. And like you said, it isn't just in a PSI, although that's a wonderful deep dive for somebody.
Yes.
But even in our last hour-long session, right? It was really impactful for me. I had an experience, a work-related experience, which had left me feeling unsettled, devalued, and I was trying to understand why I was feeling that way, and I couldn't intellectually understand it. And you led me through a process that took me into like, where's the sensation? What are you feeling in your body? What is the sensation? And then from there, I was able to obtain clarity.
Truth.
True, absolutely truth. What was in fact true. And then that allowed me to have a necessary conversation, that allowed things to shift in a necessary way. Yeah. And the fact is, like, we get to just, once we're able to be with truth, we get to act from there. We don't control another person, but we get to show up in that space of like knowingness, and then that has that certainty of knowingness. Yes. Actually impacts anything we go into or seek to change or shift. Yeah. And I think without that knowingness, we're just like flailing. Correct. And then you're unable to have the connected experience or the conversation or have it land.
Because we've had that same conversation about your compensation 10 years ago, 7 years ago, and we're back to capacity. Right. Like we were still trying to figure it out. And so when you would have those conversations about it, it was more of your mind having it. And so in the space of that, there's these barriers to, well, am I worth it? Am I going to get rejected? Completely. So you're speaking, but there's all this energy in the way. And so it can't fully land and fully be received and then come back. And what I'm seeing happened literally just in this last week. And then we had the session and then you had the conversation, but you were coming at that conversation knowing, not believing, knowing your worth, unattached. You were tenacious, fierce love for self, letting go of the outcome. And all these new opportunities arose for intimacy, connectedness, courage, follow through, not letting it go. Like you followed, it was almost like spirit was in as and through you. Whereas before it was a frustration and doubt. And it was the same pattern. Like that's what I want to acknowledge in you doing this integrative work. You were totally different. And then you shared about it on the Inner Circle group call and everyone was like, wow, because that's what the embodiment of this work looks like. Just like a past call I did on one of my colleagues, he invited me to speak with a group of women that he coaches. It was like a 90-minute call. I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I ended up just laser coaching people, doing the best I could to point out the blind spot, the blind spot, the blind spot. And at the end, he was so honoring. He's like, this is what the embodiment of everything I'm teaching you looks like.
Wow.
And I was like,
so beautiful.
Thank you. Because you just be. Every day you just show up and be, but wow, who I was and who I've become and how I can contribute now to others from a place of being rather than this hypervigilant overdoing from terror is freeing. It feels amazing.
It is.
It feels like health, feels like courage.
It feels like confidence, right? It feels like, at least for me, I think that the shifts that doing this work has done for me is it's allowed me to just be more vulnerable, more authentic, more honest.
Yeah.
You know, without really being attached to a particular outcome, more courageous, you know.
And more magnetic. You're so magnetic to people.
I think so.
Because you're not trying to
I'm not trying to
attach to any outcome.
I'm not attached to any outcome. I'm not trying to manipulate even subtly. I'm not trying to get anything that, you know, I am who I am, you know, and then that it creates a trustworthiness, right?
Yeah.
So, and that is by literally getting out of my own way and not manipulating myself, right?
Yeah.
Like being in truth of myself about what's real.
Yeah.
You know, and you have helped me so many times to simply identify for myself, like, oh my gosh, like I'm so frustrated. Why?
Right.
It's I can't, my brain isn't solving this. I
know.
That.
And I love my clients that are so super smart like you.
Yes.
And it takes this next level. When I think about if I ever had lunch with like the Dalai Lama, he's not a pompous ass. He's so humble and so loving, right? And he's so awake. So the more we ascend, I think the more humble we get, the more receptive, the more safe we get, right? So I think this is another wonderful skill when somebody who's very accomplished and they're getting frustrated with themselves and mad at themselves, that's thwarting the direction we want to go. Could we be more gentle with yourself? Could we have more humility? Could we have more curiosity? Would you let me love you? Could we release this judgment? Can we drop in and can we allow the feelings to be the path to your greatest knowing? Yes. And then our thinking turns more into like this wisdom as opposed to figuring it out to get an outcome. And then to me, that allows us to say, okay, unknown, what you got? Right. We can start to dance with the mystery, have fun with uncertainty, know that, wow, there's a solution that this can't figure out, but it's in the unknown. And I'm going to be, listen, receive.
Yeah.
It's freedom, power.
I think so. I mean,
and it's intense.
Yeah. And it's kind of, I would call it, it's like being in the flow of life.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like you're just riding a current.
Yes.
You know, and you're not so in your head thinking about how to jump onto the current. You're not even, you know, you're just being, your beingness.
Yeah.
And is all that is required.
Yeah.
You know, and through you I've also learned how to listen to my body.
Yeah.
That when there is a sensation of discomfort in my body, I might not understand why, but I know it's there.
Yes.
And it's like, ooh, this doesn't feel good.
Right.
So this isn't working for me.
Right.
You know?
And that's what keeps us safe. This freeway don't drive down. This person don't go on a second date. This job sounds good. They're going to pay me a lot of money, but wow, this doesn't feel quite right. Like this is our safety from the inside out, our courage from the inside out. And to me, it gives us a we can have partnership with our body, spirit talking through our body. Even though we were talking about me dating and getting to know people and creating community, I'm so grateful that I feel like these little Russian dolls, like I've got little Allana in there and I've got her. And I'm simultaneously surrendered to like an angel or the divine also holding me. So I'm masterful where I am and I'm humble where I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Little Russian Allana dolls.
Little Russian Allana dolls. Yes.
But that's beautiful.
I would love to know, I'm feeling like a wrapping up of our conversation, what would you like people to know about working with me from someone who's worked with me, seen how I work with others, see how I navigate challenges? I'm curious what you would say.
Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're feeling the curiosity at all, have an exploratory call, first and foremost, because there is a resonance that you will just understand and know. And it's got to go both ways, I think, right? Like
It's a partnership.
You're quite picky, I think, about your clients. And
well, I'm protective of the community that I've, created.
Because you're bringing people into a community. We're doing this really deep work, and it's just such a gift. And so I would say first trust that, right? Like if there's that curiosity, I would say trust that. If you're somebody that is willing, because we spoke about willingness, right? If you're somebody that's willing to take agency of your life.
Yes, right? Well said.
And you want a master, coach, partner, facilitator, angel, to walk with you, to be the wind under your wings, right? And to help unknot the knotted parts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing anything for any person, but you are you are, I think of you as just, you've unlocked for me. Every time I'm stuck, you've helped me unlock the stuckness so I can continue to create and achieve the things that I would choose. Yeah. Right. You're never telling me what to do or how to, never. It's me.
I'm not going to save you. I'm not going to fix you or tell you what to do.
This is what I'm choosing to create, or this is where I'm going, or this is the block I'm hitting in my relationship. I love him desperately and we're stuck.
Yeah.
Please help me.
Yeah.
Or I'm really frustrated with work and this is what's happening. But when I tune into the vibration of truth, it's not leave. So if it's for me to continue to stay, help me shift this.
Yes.
And so I would say for, if people are interested or curious, and you are somebody that is committed to living a life of choice, to being an agency, to taking responsibility, to allowing yourself to experience incredible, unbelievable, like self-love, self-worth, and to somebody that's really curious about expanding your capacity for intimacy, for being with truth, for moving through hard things.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of, if you're that person, like, I feel like you would be a beautiful match for that person.
Thank you, sweetheart. I just had this image, like, Men in Black, but like the woman in black.
Women in black.
Like, right, just, I've got your back.
100%.
I will not do anything for you because you're not broken.
Never.
And the wounds in the way of you embodying your glory, I'm masterful at integrating those.
Incredible.
Yeah, and then celebrating you.
All the way. You are somebody that has seen me through so many different moments in my life and have never once judged me. And I have told you the dirty, rotten everything, right? And like,
love you more.
Loved me more and heard it all and helped me through it and cheered me on when I didn't even know how to cheer on myself.
Yeah.
Loved me and saw me when I didn't know how to love and see myself. And so, there are certain things that have happened in my life that I have such deep gratitude for. And you are one of those, meeting you and developing our sisterhood, our friendship, and then making the decision to work with you and have you as my coach has been just transformational and great blessing in my life.
Thank you, sister. Thank you for the honor. My one last question, even though this is your interview of me.
Yes.
Because I'm both masterful at what I do and I'm also an ever evolving student. Where do you, as my sister, my client, my lawyer, my friend, where could you get up under me and challenge me? What do you see is, what vision do you have of me that I might not even have the courage to claim? What little sprinkle angel dust can we put on the end of this interview of what you see as possible for my wiring, my gift, my genius? You know, the new things I'm stepping into with Santa Fe, Patreon.
Yeah.
We're literally recording this video on day 3 of moving to an entirely new place. Allowing myself to have a life that's just the glorious life that I create for all my clients.
Yeah, thank you for that question. I really feel like, and you're already doing this, but I think at a much grander scale, you are on this planet to change the world in a really positive way. Like we desperately need as a humanity our lighthouses.
Yeah.
We need this now more than ever to have way showers, and for you to really fully claim that and really step into that. I believe you have that capacity to hold the whole, right? And to hold our planet as we need. We need those different lighthouses, you know, and I think you make such an impact for so many, and I feel like that impact is even greater, and your capacity to have that impact is even greater. And to build, like here you are in a new town, to build your community in Santa Fe, you know, and to become sort of a central part of this community, but then to expand it even more into the world. And that to me feels very potent and real.
Thank you.
There's so many different ways to be able to learn from you and grow from you. And I love that you've created Patreon, because it's an access point that's really accessible,
Yeah.
you know, for so many.
Yeah.
That might not be able to work with you one-on-one. And then even working with you one-on-one, I know that there's different sort of ways that people can work with you. And I just think that who you are in the world and what you do in the world is so desperately needed at this time. You know, and I'm a mother, and there's many ways for us to become afraid of what's to come, or to be afraid of what is already here.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that one of the greatest things we can do for each other and for humanity is to continue to hold that light of hope for the collective, for our planet, for what is possible for us. You know, when we see so many examples of the ugliness and the horror that we get to sadly witness, but is here, more than ever, it becomes imperative that we tune into the frequency that you are, that the frequency of love, right? That you embody, that others on the planet embody. But for me, it's like I see it in you, and I also think that you have the. Not everybody has the capacity to be of service to masses, and I think that you actually do.
Thank you, sweetheart. I'm glad I asked. Hold me accountable, okay?
I will. You know, I've got your back always.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I want to invite you. There's also a podcast with Netta and her husband on intimate conversations. There's also one with just Netta and I again, sort of showing the growth after several years of working together. So please enjoy all the 13 seasons of intimate conversations. And if you are resonant to connect with me, it would be such an honor and privilege. So it's called an Intimacy Breakthrough Experience Call. Just go to the show notes. There'll be the link to sign up, and also a scholarship that you spent all this time with us. You have more than deserved. And I look forward to connecting one-on-one. I love you.
I love you so much.
Yeah, thank you. And I love you.
See you next week on Intimate Conversations. Get out there and make love to life.